The phone rang at exactly 3:33 a.m., just like it had every night for the past 12 years, pulling Robert from a shallow sleep with its insistent trill. In the dim glow of his bedside lamp, he glanced at his son Alex's photo on the nightstand, a reminder of the life he'd built on fragile foundations, before answering in a hushed whisper. But tonight, for the first time, Alex was awake in the next room, his heart pounding as he eavesdropped on the one-sided conversation that would unravel everything he thought he knew about his father. Alex had returned to his childhood home in suburban Chicago after a brutal breakup, seeking solace in the familiar walls of the old Victorian house where he'd grown up. At 32, he was openly gay, a fact that had strained his relationship with Robert for years. Robert, a retired factory worker with a gruff exterior and traditional values, had never fully accepted Alex's orientation, often dismissing it with comments like, "It's just a phase," or, "You need to think about the family name." Yet, beneath the tension, there was an unspoken bond, forged through shared losses. The death of Alex's mother when he was 10, leaving Robert to raise him alone. Alex had always sensed something hidden in his father's eyes, a quiet sorrow that no amount of beer or football games could drown out. Now, crashing on the couch after losing his job as a graphic designer in New York, Alex found himself insomnia-ridden, staring at the ceiling when the phone rang. He froze at the sound, the digital clock confirming the ungodly hour. Who calls at 3:33 a.m.? Creeping down the hallway, Alex pressed his ear to his father's door. Robert's voice was low, almost tender. "I know. I miss you too. It's been too long." "No, he's here now, staying for a bit." "Yeah, my boy Alex." A pause, then a chuckle that Alex hadn't heard in years. "You're right, I should tell him. But how? After all this time?" The call ended abruptly, and Alex slipped back to the couch, his mind racing. Was his father having an affair? With whom? And why every night at the same time? The next morning, over burnt toast and black coffee, Alex probed casually. "Dad, did you sleep okay? I thought I heard the phone ring late." Robert's fork paused mid-air, his face paling slightly before he forced a laugh. "Must have been a wrong number. Happens sometimes." But Alex noticed the tremor in his hand, the way his eyes darted away. Determined to uncover the truth, Alex began paying closer attention. He rifled through old drawers when Robert was out, finding nothing but faded photos and utility bills. At night, he set his alarm for 3:30, listening as the calls continued, always brief, always affectionate, always at 3:33. As days turned to weeks, Alex's suspicion grew into obsession. He confided in his best friend, Jamie, over video call. Jamie, also gay and a therapist in LA, urged caution. "Alex, your dad's from a different generation. Maybe it's nothing sinister. But if it is an affair, confronting him could blow up your relationship." Alex nodded, but the words fueled his resolve. He started following Robert on his errands, tailing him to a local diner where Robert met no one, just sat alone with a coffee, staring out the window. Then, one evening, Alex found an old address book in the attic, tucked amid boxes of his mother's belongings. Flipping through, he spotted a name circled in faded ink. Elias, 333. No last name, no number, but a Chicago address from decades ago. Heart thudding, Alex drove to the address the next day, a rundown apartment building in Wrigleyville. Knocking on the door yielded no answer, but a neighbor peeked out. "Elias? He moved out years ago. Nice guy but kept to himself. Heard he passed away recently." Passed away? Alex's stomach dropped. Back home, he confronted Robert that night. "Who's Elias, Dad? And why do you get calls at 3:33 every night?" Robert's face crumpled, and for the first time, Alex saw tears in his eyes. "Sit down, son. It's time you knew." Robert's story spilled out like a dam breaking. Elias had been his high school sweetheart, back in the 1970s when being gay in working-class Chicago meant hiding or facing violence. They'd met at a factory job, shared stolen moments in secret, dreaming of a life together. But societal pressure, family expectations, church doctrines, the fear of losing everything, forced Robert to marry Alex's mother, Sarah, a kind woman who never knew the full truth. Elias, heartbroken, moved away, but they reconnected years later via phone, agreeing to call at 3:33 a.m., the time of their first kiss under a streetlight. "It was our code," Robert whispered, "a way to hold on without destroying lives." Alex reeled, anger mixing with empathy. "So you've been living a lie? Mom deserved better." Robert nodded, shame etching his features. "I loved your mother in my way, but Elias, he was my soul." The revelation shattered Alex's world. His father, the man who'd criticized his coming out, had been closeted all along? Hypocrisy burned in Alex's chest, but so did understanding, the generational trauma of repression. As the nights continued, Alex now knew the calls were from an automated service Elias had set up before dying. A final gift. Recorded messages of love, playing nightly for 12 years. "He wanted me to remember," Robert said. But with the truth out, conflicts arose. Alex pushed Robert to come out, to live authentically. "You're 70 now, Dad. It's not too late." Robert resisted, fearing judgment from old friends, the church community that had been his anchor. "You don't understand, Alex. In my time, it could have cost me everything. Job, family, even my life." Tensions escalated when Alex, in a fit of frustration, outed Robert to a cousin during a family gathering. Word spread like wildfire through their conservative extended family. Aunts called, condemning Robert's sinful past. One uncle stopped speaking to them entirely. Robert, devastated, lashed out at Alex. "You had no right. This was my secret to keep." Alex fired back. "And what about my pain? Growing up thinking you hated who I am, when all along you were the same." The drama peaked at a community event, where Robert was confronted by a former colleague who'd heard the rumors. Fists nearly flew, but Robert stood his ground for the first time, admitting his love for Elias. "I hid it to survive," he said, voice steady. The room fell silent, some faces softening, others hardening. Alex watched, pride swelling amid the chaos. In the aftermath, father and son navigated the fallout together. Robert joined a support group for older LGBTQ+ individuals, slowly embracing his identity. Alex found forgiveness, realizing his father's choices were shaped by a harsher world. Their bond deepened, built on shared vulnerability. Yet, as Robert's health declined, Alex wondered if forcing the truth had been right. The calls stopped when the service expired, leaving silence at 3:33 a.m. A poignant end to a hidden love. The silence after the calls ended felt like a void, echoing through the house like the ghost of Elias himself. Alex lay awake those first few nights, staring at the clock as 3:33 passed without a ring, wondering if his father felt relief or deeper loss. Robert, for his part, seemed quieter, more introspective, spending hours in the attic poring over old letters from Elias that Alex had helped unearth. Their relationship, once fractured by unspoken truths, now teetered on a fragile bridge of understanding. Alex took a part-time job at a local coffee shop to stay in Chicago longer, using the time to delve deeper into his father's past. He tracked down Elias's obituary online, a simple notice in a small-town paper, mentioning his work as an artist and his quiet life. No family listed, no partner acknowledged. It hit Alex hard. Elias had died alone, his love for Robert reduced to nightly recordings. One afternoon, Alex convinced Robert to visit Elias's grave in a cemetery on the outskirts of the city. The drive was tense, Robert gripping the wheel with white knuckles. "I don't know if I can do this, son." Alex placed a hand on his shoulder. "You don't have to face it alone anymore." At the gravesite, a modest headstone under a maple tree, Robert broke down, sobbing apologies into the wind. "I'm sorry I couldn't be brave like you wanted." Alex knelt beside him, tears streaming. He knew, Dad. Those calls prove it. Back home, the revelation sparked new conflicts. Alex's outing of Robert had rippled through their social circles. The local church, where Robert had volunteered for decades, sent a letter suggesting he step back from duties, citing moral concerns. Robert read it aloud at dinner, his voice cracking. After all I've given them. Alex slammed his fist on the table. They're hypocrites. Half the congregation has skeletons in their closets. But Robert shook his head. It's not that simple. Faith got me through tough times, your mom's cancer, raising you. Losing that community hurts. Alex, fueled by righteous anger, started attending LGBTQ+ advocacy meetings in the city, dragging Robert along to one. Their older men shared stories similar to Robert's. Forced marriages, hidden loves, lives of quiet desperation. One man, in his 80s, spoke of losing his partner to AIDS in the 80s, shunned by family. Robert listened, eyes wide, then shared his own tale tentatively. The group welcomed him, but afterward, he confided in Alex. It feels good, but scary. What if I'm too old to change? The drama intensified when Alex's ex-boyfriend, Mark, showed up unannounced. Mark, a charismatic lawyer from New York, had cheated on Alex, leading to their split. Now, claiming remorse, he wanted reconciliation. I miss you, Alex. Chicago's not you. But Alex, still raw, introduced him to Robert over awkward dinner. Mark, openly affectionate, held Alex's hand, prompting Robert to shift uncomfortably. Later, alone, Robert admitted, seeing you too. It reminds me of what I never had with Elias. But be careful, son. Love can hurt. Mark's presence stirred jealousy in Alex. Not romantic, but for the life Mark represented. Out and proud, unburdened by generational shame. Arguments ensued. You don't get it, Mark. My dad's just starting to accept himself. And here you are, flaunting what he couldn't. Mark retorted. Flaunting? This is normal life. Maybe you're enabling his denial. The fight escalated, Mark leaving in a huff, but not before planting seeds of doubt in Alex. Meanwhile, societal pressures mounted. A local news story broke about late-life coming-outs, featuring anonymous interviews. Alex encouraged Robert to participate, but Robert refused. I don't want pity or spectacle. Then, a family reunion loomed, Robert's sister's annual gathering in the suburbs. Whispers had spread. Cousins debated inviting them. Robert wanted to skip it, but Alex insisted. We face it head-on. Hiding's what got us here. At the reunion, tension crackled. An aunt pulled Robert aside. Is it true? About that man? Robert, bolstered by Alex's presence, nodded. Yes, and I'm not ashamed anymore. Gasps followed, some relatives hugging him, others leaving early. One cousin, a young evangelical, confronted Alex. You're pushing him into this lifestyle. It's against God. Alex shot back. Love isn't a lifestyle, it's human. And Dad's happier now. The fallout lingered. Robert lost friends, but gained allies. An old factory buddy confessed his own hidden struggles. Alex, inspired, started a blog about intergenerational LGBTQ+ stories, anonymizing his father's tale but drawing from it. Responses poured in: support, hate mail, debates on forgiveness versus accountability. As summer faded, Robert's health scare, a minor heart episode, brought clarity. In the hospital, he grasped Alex's hand. Thank you for forcing me out. I wasted years. Alex smiled through tears. We both did. Discharge brought renewed purpose. Robert volunteered at a queer senior center, finding community. Yet doubts crept in for Alex. Had he overstepped, outing his father without consent? The blog sparked online controversies. Some praised the exposure as liberation, others condemned it as violation. Alex pondered the ethics, the fine line between help and harm. Fall arrived in Chicago with crisp winds and turning leaves, mirroring the shifts in Alex and Robert's lives. The heart scare had been a wake-up call. Robert quit smoking, started walking daily, and even attended his first Pride event. A small local parade where he waved a rainbow flag tentatively, Alex beaming beside him. Feels strange, but right, Robert admitted over ice cream afterward. But progress wasn't linear. Nightmares plagued Robert. Dreams of Elias accusing him of cowardice, or Sarah discovering the truth posthumously. He'd wake sweating, calling out, and Alex would comfort him with tea and talks till dawn. These moments deepened their bond, Alex sharing his own fears. "What if I end up alone like Elias?" Robert reassured. "You won't. You're braver than I ever was." Social conflicts persisted. At the Queer Senior Center, Robert met Victor, a widower in his 60s, openly gay since the Stonewall era. Victor's stories of activism inspired Robert, and soon they shared coffees, then dinners. Alex noticed the spark, subtle touches, lingering glances. "Dad, are you dating?" Robert blushed. "Just friends. But it's nice to feel seen." Alex encouraged it, but jealousy flickered. Victor represented what Elias couldn't be, a public partner. When Victor invited Robert to a gala for LGBTQ+ elders, Robert hesitated. "What if people talk?" Alex pushed. "Let them. Live, Dad." The gala was a success. Robert danced awkwardly but joyfully, Victor leading. Photos circulated online, and soon family backlash reignited. Robert's sister called. "Parading around like that? At your age?" Robert hung up, defiant. "I'm done apologizing." Alex's blog gained traction, attracting media attention. A podcast invited him to discuss outing elders. On air, Alex defended his actions. "My father was suffering in silence. Revealing the truth freed him." Callers debated. One praised liberation, another decried privacy invasion. "What gives you the right?" the host asked. Alex paused. "Love, and the pain of watching him hide." The exposure brought threats, anonymous emails calling them abominations. Alex installed security cameras, paranoia setting in. One night, a brick shattered their window. A note attached, "Stay in the closet." Police dismissed it as a prank, but Robert withdrew, skipping center meetings. "Maybe I should have kept quiet." Alex rallied him. "No, Dad, this is the fight." Victor's support helped. He visited often, cooking meals and sharing laughs. Alex warmed to him, seeing how he healed Robert's wounds. But when Victor proposed a trip to San Francisco, to see where pride began, Robert balked. "Too far. Too much." Alex intervened. "Go. You deserve happiness." Reluctantly, Robert agreed, packing with nervous excitement. While Robert was away, Alex reflected alone. He reconnected with Mark via text, apologies exchanged. "I was wrong to push," Mark admitted. "Your family's complicated." Alex replied, "We all are." The solitude unearthed Alex's own issues. Resentment toward Robert for years of conditional love, fear of repeating patterns. Robert returned glowing, stories of Castro Street and old activists. Elias would have loved it. But Victor confided in Alex privately, "Your dad's holding back. The past haunts him." Alex nodded, knowing the call's absence left a hole. A major conflict arose when a journalist contacted Alex for a feature on their story. Tempted by visibility, Alex agreed, but Robert exploded upon learning. "You didn't ask. This is my life." Alex countered, "It's ours now. Sharing helps others." The argument escalated, Robert storming out to Victor's. Alone, Alex questioned his motives. Was it altruism or ego? Reconciliation came via Victor's mediation. "You both want the best," he said. Robert admitted, "I'm scared of losing control." Alex apologized. "I overstepped." Hugs followed, forgiveness tentative. As winter neared, Robert proposed honoring Elias with a memorial, planting a tree in the park where they'd kissed. Alex helped organize, inviting a small group from the center. The event was emotional. Robert spoke. "Love doesn't die with secrets." Attendees shared tears and toasts. Yet, societal divides lingered. A local election heated up debates on LGBTQ+ rights, with anti-gay rhetoric from candidates. Robert, emboldened, wrote a letter to the editor, outing himself publicly. "I hid for too long. Don't let fear win." It ran front page, sparking community forums. Some supportive, others vitriolic. Alex watched his father transform, pride swelling. But the cost was evident. Strained family ties, lost friendships. Was the freedom worth the pain? Winter blanketed Chicago in snow, mirroring the chill in some relationships but warming others. Robert's letter sparked a wave of responses. Letters from strangers sharing similar stories, offers of support from advocacy groups. One came from a distant relative, a gay nephew Robert never knew about, bridging family gaps. "Your courage inspired me," the young man wrote. Victor became a fixture, their relationship blossoming into romance. Alex teased gently, "Finally, Dad's got a boyfriend." Robert chuckled, "At my age, miracles happen." They hosted dinners, Victor's optimism balancing Robert's caution. But jealousy from Alex's side emerged, not for attention, but envy of their ease. "You two make it look simple," he confessed. Victor replied, "It's not. We fight the world daily." Alex dove deeper into advocacy, speaking at events on intergenerational trauma. At one panel, a critic accused him of exploiting Robert. Outing someone is abuse. Alex defended, "It was a catalyst for healing." The debate raged online, hashtags trending, outing ethics. Supporters argued for visibility's power. Opponents stressed consent. Personal toll mounted. Alex's job search stalled. Potential employers Googled him, wary of controversy. "Too divisive," one said. Frustrated, he vented to Robert, "This is your fault, no ours." Robert sighed. "Regrets? Some. But I'd do it again for peace." A turning point came during a blizzard, power out, forcing closeness. Huddled by the fireplace, they shared untold stories. Robert revealed Elias's final message, "Live free, my love." Alex shared his coming-out pain. "Your disapproval crushed me." Robert teared up. "I projected my fears. Forgive me?" Forgiveness flowed, but external pressures persisted. A church group picketed the senior center. Signs blaring, "Repent." Robert faced them. "I've repented for hiding, not loving." Media captured it, amplifying his voice. Victor stood beside him, hand in hand, a public declaration. Alex's blog evolved into a book proposal, agents interested. But doubt nagged. Was he profiting from pain? Mark, visiting again, advised, "If it helps others." Yes. Their reconciliation tentative, Mark stayed for holidays, blending families awkwardly but warmly. Christmas brought surprises. Robert gifted Alex a locket with Elias's photo. "So you know where you come from, love." Alex reciprocated with pride memorabilia. Victor joined, toasting new beginnings. But drama lurked. A hacker leaked old emails from Robert's support group, exposing members. Panic ensued. Robert feared backlash. "Why can't we just be?" Alex traced it to a hate group, rallying allies for countermeasures, petitions, counterspeeches. The incident bonded them further. Robert proposed to Victor impulsively. "Life's short." Victor accepted. Wedding plans modest. Alex, best man, helped organize, emotions swirling. Joy for them, sorrow for Elias. Societal debates intensified with a Supreme Court case on LGBTQ+ protections. Robert testified via amicus brief, his story cited. Opponents labeled him confused elder. Supporters hailed a hero. As spring approached, Robert's health stabilized, but fatigue showed. "I'm tired, son." Alex worried, urging rest. Victor echoed, "We've fought enough." Reflection hit Alex during a quiet walk. Had his push for truth caused more harm? The wedding loomed, a celebration amid controversy. Some family attending, others boycotting. The ceremony, in a park under blooming trees, was intimate. Vows exchanged. "In hiding and in light, I choose you." Alex's toast. To love uncovered. Post-wedding, peace settled briefly. But a final twist. An old friend of Elias contacted Robert, revealing a hidden will-leaving artwork to him. "He wanted you to have beauty." Alex pondered the legacy. Secrets unveiled, lives reshaped. Summer sun warmed Chicago, but shadows of the past lingered as Robert and Victor honeymooned in a quiet cabin up north. Alex's house sat, sifting through Elias's artworks, vibrant abstracts capturing hidden emotions. One piece, titled 333, depicted two figures in embrace under a clock, evoking tears. With time alone, Alex confronted his choices. The book deal came through, but he hesitated signing, weighing ethics. Mark, now a steady presence, urged, "Your story matters. It challenges norms." They rekindled romance slowly, Mark moving to Chicago for a fresh start. Robert returned invigorated, but news hit. The hate group behind the leak targeted them again. Doxing addresses. Police involved, but fear permeated. "Is this the price of truth?" Robert asked. Alex nodded grimly. "Maybe, but silence costs more." Advocacy continued. Alex spoke at a national conference, debating outing's morality. A panelist argued, "Consent is paramount." Alex countered, "What if silence kills the spirit?" Applause mixed with boos, sparking heated Q&A. Family reconciliation trickled. Robert's sister visited, apologizing. "I was scared." Hugs mended fences, though scars remained. As years blurred, wait. No, this was still the first summer post-revelation. The story's impact spread. A documentary filmmaker approached, Robert agreeing tentatively. "If it helps one person." Health concerns resurfaced. Robert's doctor advised monitoring. "Stress ages you." Alex blamed himself partly, but Robert dismissed. "I'd rather live fully briefly than long in shadows." Victor's influence steadied them. Picnics, travels, small joys. Alex and Mark planned a commitment ceremony, inspired. But a climactic confrontation arose at a town hall on LGBTQ+ education. Opponents rallied. Robert spoke against bans. "I hid my truth, and it hurt my son. Don't force that on kids." A heckler shouted, "You're brainwashing." Chaos ensued, but Robert stood firm, earning respect. In quiet aftermath, father and son reflected on the porch. "Did I do right, pushing you?" Alex asked. Robert smiled. "You saved me, son." The narrative closed with Robert listening to an old recording of Elias, peace on his face. Alex watched, heart full yet questioning. Was forcing someone out of the closet, even with good intentions, ultimately justifiable?